So yeah, you know what it is. Southpaw Slick live at work. And today's subject is kind of the part two of the colorism in dating that I said I was going to talk about, but it's going to be a little bit deeper than that. Um, I just want to talk about colorism in general. And first, we're going to start off with the concept of the colorism hierarchy. And this, at least, this is who I heard it from. I'm assuming he created it, but I'm talking about the YouTuber or content creator, not OnlyFans, Angel Ramirez Jordan. And he does a lot of content pertaining to the black community, you know, as far as like any black issues or even more uplifting videos. Like he'll do like a black woman appreciation vid or something like that. But he actually brought up the colorism hierarchy and how there's two different ones, especially in American society. You have a black colorism hierarchy and you have a white colorism hierarchy. Starting off with the black one. Number one, who's on the top of the list, on the top of the pyramid, is dark-skinned black men. Number two, light-skinned black women. Number three, light-skinned black men. And number four, dark-skinned black women. All right, that's the black colorism hierarchy. Now, to white society, the black colorism hierarchy starts like this. Number one, light-skinned black women. Number two, light-skinned black men. Number three, dark-skinned black men. Number four, dark-skinned black women. Now, do you see the similarity? I'm going to give you a few seconds to think it out. I'm going to give you a few seconds to think it out. But if you haven't guessed it, there it is. At the bottom of the totem pole is dark-skinned black women. Why is that? Well, according to him, which it is true, dark-skinned black women are the least respected, the least desired, the most criticized, the most stereotyped. Any negative stereotype associated with black women or black people as a whole, usually dark-skinned women are the first ones to get slapped with all those labels. Every last one. Angry, loud, ghetto, ratchet, combative, argumentative, not submissive, not attractive. You know what I mean? All of it. Everything negative. They always get hit with it. And it just makes me wonder, why is it like that? Is that indoctrination or is that natural? The way I look at it, it's pure indoctrination. Just centuries of the dark-skinned black woman's image being tainted. Like they're like just the worst possible thing you can get. And that really bothers me. That really does bother me. That's why I hate like when I like look at celebrities that are being promoted, whether it's just a musician, an actress, an athlete, a even the ones online, like your micro and macro celebs that are online. But one thing I do like, this is another reason why I use Instagram as much as I do, is when I go on Instagram, but Instagram is also based on what you look at or what you like the most, right? When you go into the search section on the app. One thing I do like about Instagram is there's a lot of gorgeous dark-skinned women being promoted, and I am 100% for it. Fully support it, love it, wouldn't have it any other way. It's just unfortunate that a lot of these women are not getting any mainstream recognition. It's relatively underground, right? They're not being pushed, like the light skinned chicks, like the Ella Mays and the Queen Najas and the Coily Rays and the hers. I mean her, the lighter skinned chicks, And now don't get me wrong, all of them are beautiful women. Every last one that I named. They're all beautiful women, right? But I can't really blame them. You got to blame the powers that be. They're the ones that run shit behind the scenes. They're the ones that push these women to the forefront. And it is a form of white supremacy. I'm saying they're the closest thing to it in the black community, right? If it ain't white, it ain't right, right? If you didn't have white people, it will be if it ain't light, it ain't right. They're the closest thing to it. That's why I'm saying, considering the fact that media is ran by European Jews, that's kind of a given. But how can we change that? This is where us as black men need to step up. Need to step up, especially the ones that do have power. Your Jay-Z's and P. Diddy's and Master P's. All of them. And Kanye West. All of them. They have the power and the finances to make this shit happen. But you know what the problem is? Every last one that I just named, they are part of that boule. They are with the higher ups. Even the women, you know, like I always say, your partner is a reflection of you. A relationship is not just based on love. Even the women that they're paired up with, who you see them with? Jay-Z, Beyonce, light skin, P. Diddy, Kim Porter. Yeah, she was on the darker side, but she had a more exotical, quote unquote, look, right? Cassie, J-Lo, now Young Miami or Carisha, how some of y'all like to say. Yeah, she's not like yellow, but she is lighter. Compared to JT, Young Miami definitely gets more looks and recognition as far as the aesthetic. JT gets the props for the rapping, but Young Miami is the face of the group as far as the pretty one. Right? Kanye West, Kim Kardashian. Yeah, they're not together anymore. Amber Rose before her. The beautiful dark-skinned chick that he was with, like around the time before his mother passed, the one they showed him with. When they always like want to bring up his line about leaving your ass for a white girl from Gold Digger, right? They always talk about that light-skinned, not the dark-skinned chick that he was with, but every woman that came afterwards, they were all light-skinned or white. So these are guys we can't really depend on. As much as I love them as artists, we can't really depend on them. Now, Master P, I'm trying to think about I don't think his wife is like browner, right? I don't think she's dark skinned, but she's not light skinned. He's probably the closest one. But the other three, you can X them out. That's why I'm saying they're with the higher ups. They're with the powers that be. And yeah, I know I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist or whatnot, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm just telling you what we see right in front of us, right? So we can't depend on them. Us as black men. I'm talking about the black men that are not in the industry, but they are wealthy or at least rich. And yes, there's a difference between the two. It would be nice. Now, if I had the finances, I would do it without question right away. it seems as if the women, more so, because they're the most affected, they're the ones taking the initiative to try and push darker skinned women in the forefront. For example, the YouTuber, Chrissy, right? I've been subscribed to her for years. I've been subscribed to her since like 2017, right? Like 16, 17. Love her to death. Even though she's not filling us as a whole. But see, with Chrissy, it slowly, I don't know if I can say evolve or devolved, but it's like she went from being pro-black to being pro-dark-skinned women to being anti-black man to being pro-divester, right? That's kind of her evolution. But one thing she stayed consistent on is her push for darker skinned women. And that's something I'm always going to give her props for. Even the content she makes now, some of it I don't agree with, but I agree with her most of the time, right? Like I'm saying, I understand why black women as a whole, both light skin and dark skin, are looking at us sideways because we're always giving them a reason to. Who's criticizing darker skinned women more than black men? Maybe light skinned women, but let's be real. Black men, for the most part, criticize darker skinned women the most. Like you dark, burnt, crusty, and all that bullshit. Like let's keep it real. We need to fix that. We need to fix that. We need to uplift them. You know what I mean? Like I said, I love dark skinned women. That's always my first choice. If not, I told you my complexion or darker. Lighter skinned women, not my preference. Would date one, but not my preference. I'll take a pretty dark skinned chick any day of the week. Easy. But like I'm saying, there's definitely an issue with that. And us as black men, we have to fix that. Like I'm saying, when it comes down to it, yes, the women, they can promote themselves to an extent, especially in modern day society, but ultimately, men are the ones that give women their validation and allow them to be represented properly. Southpaw Slick, I'm out.